Recently, Olivia Hussey has taken legal action against Paramount Pictures, stemming from a controversial scene in the 1968 film Romeo and Juliet. At the tender age of 15, she and her co-star Leonard Whiting, who was 16, were depicted in a partially nude scene that has now come under scrutiny. Olivia asserts that both she and Leonard were coerced into participating in this scene by the director, leading to significant emotional distress that has lingered over the years. The lawsuit not only seeks accountability from the studio, but also shines a light on the ethical responsibilities filmmakers have towards young actors. This case has sparked a broader conversation about the treatment of minors in the entertainment industry and the potential long-term effects of such experiences. As the legal proceedings unfold, many are left questioning the standards that govern film production, particularly when it involves vulnerable individuals. The implications of this lawsuit could resonate throughout Hollywood, prompting a reevaluation of practices that have long been accepted. According to Olivia, director Franco Zeffirelli assured her and her co-star that the scene would be filmed in a way that protected their modesty. She alleges that he initially promised they could wear flesh-colored garments, but changed his mind on the day of filming, insisting that they only wear body makeup. Olivia recalls feeling uncomfortable and betrayed by this decision, which she says led to lasting trauma and negatively impacted her view of the industry. This experience highlights the significant power directors and studio heads held over young actors, often pressuring them into situations they were not comfortable with. The pressure to conform to the director's vision can create an environment where the well-being of the actors is overlooked. Olivia's story sheds light on the darker side of filmmaking, where the excitement of being in a major production can quickly turn into a source of distress. Her experience serves as a reminder of the importance of consent and the need for greater protections for actors, especially those who are young and vulnerable. The industry must learn from these stories to ensure that all actors feel safe and respected on set. Olivia's lawsuit against Paramount highlights the broader issue of exploitation in the film industry, particularly concerning child actors. This case brings to light practices that were common in Hollywood decades ago, where the comfort and consent of younger actors were often disregarded by directors and producers. The focus was primarily on creating compelling scenes, sometimes at the expense of the well-being of the young performers. Olivia's experience serves as a crucial reminder of the need for change in how the industry treats its youngest members. As the lawsuit unfolds, it may set a significant precedent that could influence future guidelines for film production. This could encourage studios to adopt more protective measures for young actors, ensuring they are not pressured into uncomfortable situations without their full informed consent. The implications of this case could resonate throughout the industry, prompting a reevaluation of practices that have long been accepted. The hope is that such legal actions will foster a safer environment for all actors, particularly those who are still developing their careers and identities. After being born in Buenos Aires, Argentina, Olivia Hussey moved to England, where she began studying acting as a child. She gained international fame playing Juliet in Franco Zeffirelli's 1968 film adaptation of Romeo and Juliet at just 15 years old. While her beauty and talent captivated the world, this early stardom placed immense pressure on her personal and psychological well-being. She struggled with self-image and the intense scrutiny that comes with fame, especially as a teenager. Her portrayal of Juliet earned her a Golden Globe Award for Most Promising Newcomer, cementing her status in Hollywood. Despite early success, Hussey faced challenges as she transitioned into adulthood. She sought to break away from the Juliet persona by exploring diverse roles, including appearances in Black Christmas, Death on the Nile, and portraying Mother Teresa in the film Mother Teresa of Calcutta. Still, Hollywood's focus on her youthful role often overshadowed her subsequent work. Later in life, Olivia shared her experiences in her memoir, The Girl on the Balcony, reflecting on her struggles with fame, beauty, and personal growth. Her candid revelations showed the psychological impact of becoming a worldwide icon at a young age. She discussed her marriage and family life, including her children and grandchildren, and her eventual peace with her earlier challenges. Though her health battles culminated in a resurgence of breast cancer, Olivia Hussey continued to inspire admiration. Her life journey was marked by immense highs and significant struggles, which were publicly discussed when she filed a lawsuit decades later against Paramount Pictures, citing the abuse of trust she felt as a teenager during the filming of certain scenes in Romeo and Juliet. Following her success in Romeo and Juliet, Olivia developed agoraphobia, an anxiety disorder that made it difficult for her to be in public spaces. This condition was exacerbated by the fame and public scrutiny she faced as Juliet. Agoraphobia is an intense fear of being in situations where escape might be difficult, and Olivia struggled with panic attacks in crowds, on public transport, and in open spaces. Her disorder stemmed from the discomfort she felt over the exposure from her role, particularly due to the controversial scene that led people to view her in an overly personal, invasive way. The sudden spotlight and the expectations that came with it overwhelmed her, making everyday activities feel daunting. As she navigated her new reality, Olivia found herself retreating from the world, seeking solace in the safety of her home. The pressures of fame, combined with her mental health struggles, created a challenging environment for her, leading to a profound sense of isolation. Despite her talent and success, the emotional toll of her experiences shaped her life in ways that were often hidden from the public eye. Despite being celebrated as one of the most beautiful actresses of her time, Olivia Hussey's history with self-image tells a complex, painful story. Cast as Juliet in Franco Zeffirelli's 1968 adaptation of Romeo and Juliet when she was only a teenager, Hussey quickly became a global icon of grace and beauty. However, behind the alluring on-screen presence was a young woman grappling with deep insecurities. Olivia often spoke about feeling unattractive, even as millions idolized her appearance. This disconnect between her self-perception and public adoration began early on, and persisted throughout her lifetime. As she transitioned into the demanding world of Hollywood, the pressures to conform to strict beauty standards grew unbearable. Studios who bankrolled her work, and the public who scrutinized her every appearance, amplified these struggles. Despite the recognition she received, including a Golden Globe Award, she confessed in interviews and her memoir that she saw herself as fat and ugly. The internal conflict between external validation and personal self-doubt consumed her thoughts, creating a lifelong battle. Olivia's youthful years were especially difficult. Growing up in a world where her physicality was constantly evaluated made her hyper-aware of her imperfections, both real and imagined. The role of Juliet brought worldwide fame, but also left her exposed to the intense expectations linked to her image. Even as reporters and fans described her delicate frame and enchanting beauty, those close to her sometimes failed to see the private anguish their comments and criticisms caused. Her ability to cope with this public and personal scrutiny was shaken by bouts of low self-esteem. She found it particularly challenging to navigate an industry where her face and body seemed as important as her acting skills. The contrast between her inner and outer worlds epitomized the profound harm that fame can render upon an individual. While she became a symbol of idealized beauty, she felt far removed from the pedestal others put her on. Revelations from her later years show that she struggled to see in herself what others celebrated. Even later in life, memories of her teenage anguish remained vivid. Olivia's raw honesty about her body image battles underscored the enduring pain carried silently by many in the public eye. Her experience is a somber reminder of the human cost of beauty standards and celebrity obsession. In her candid memoir, Olivia revealed instances when even casual compliments about her weight resonated deeply, either as validations of her insecurities or triggers that sent her deeper into self-doubt. These emotions were often coupled with external pressures to maintain the illusion of perfection. She wrote with vivid detail about how fame exacerbated her inner conflict rather than alleviating it, highlighting the simultaneous privilege and torment of living under a magnifying glass. While her looks helped to define her career, they also became a source of dissatisfaction, leaving her feeling that her worth was inextricably tied to her appearance. This dynamic reflected a broader societal issue that many actresses during her time navigated, but rarely spoke about publicly. Olivia's story resonates today as an emblematic case of how critical self-image issues impact even those described by society as the epitome of beauty. Throughout her career, Olivia faced significant pressure from the studios to maintain a certain physical appearance. After her role in Romeo and Juliet, the studio insisted she lose weight, prescribing diet pills to control her appearance. These pills caused her extreme stress and hyperactivity, damaging her physical and mental health. The constant scrutiny over her weight transformed her relationship with food, causing her to see food as the enemy rather than a source of nourishment and joy. Olivia's experience underscores the intense and sometimes harmful physical expectations studios placed on young actresses. The relentless demands to conform to an idealized image created an environment where her self-worth became tied to her appearance. This pressure not only affected her health, but also her overall well-being, leading to a struggle that many young actresses face in the industry. The impact of these experiences highlights the need for a more compassionate approach to the treatment of performers, recognizing their humanity beyond their physical attributes. Olivia's mother played a protective role in her life, stepping in at a crucial moment to prevent her daughter from taking diet pills that had been prescribed by the studio. This intervention was significant, as it spared Olivia from potential physical harm that could have resulted from the use of such substances. However, despite her mother's care and concern, the damage to Olivia's self-image had already taken root. The pressures of the entertainment industry had instilled deep-seated body image issues that continued to affect her. Even with her mother's support, Olivia found it challenging to navigate the conflicting messages about beauty and worth that surrounded her. This dynamic highlights the difficult balance that parents of young actors often face. They must support their children's dreams while also protecting them from the darker aspects of the industry, which can impose unrealistic standards and expectations. The struggle between ambition and well-being is a complex journey for both the child and the parent, revealing the emotional toll that fame can take on young individuals. After being selected from a pool of hundreds of candidates, Olivia Hussey's portrayal of Juliet in Franco Zeffirelli's 1968 adaptation of Romeo and Juliet became her defining career moment. Her performance, brimming with authenticity and emotional depth, captured the hearts of audiences worldwide. This role not only showcased her remarkable acting talents, but also enshrined her as a symbol of youthful grace and talent, earning her the Golden Globe for Best New Actress. Olivia's natural ability to embody the innocence and tragedy of Juliet's character catapulted her into stardom, elevating her to international fame at a very young age. At only 15 years old, Hussey was an unconventional but brilliant choice for Juliet, breaking barriers for age-appropriate casting at the time. The role carried her into a new realm of celebrity, but it came with its own set of challenges. With great acclaim came severe personal struggles, as the immense pressure took a toll on her overall well-being. Media scrutiny and public expectations often overshadowed her subsequent work, placing her at the mercy of a career forged in the intense fire of early fame. Despite the challenges, she later spoke of her gratitude and pride in having been part of such a monumental film that stood the test of time. Her performance paved the way for further career opportunities, though none quite equaled the iconic status achieved through Juliet. The sheer magnitude of the role as one of literature's most enduring heroines meant that Olivia's identity as Juliet lingered prominently in the public consciousness, influencing how she was perceived and typecast in the world of acting. Yet, she carried the accolade of being forever associated with a timeless tragedy, cementing her legacy in cinematic history. Her breakthrough defines an era of Shakespearean adaptations and left an indelible mark on the film industry, serving as a testament to the power of art and the sacrifices often demanded of those who bring it to life. Olivia's performance in Romeo and Juliet earned her several prestigious awards, including a Golden Globe Award for New Star of the Year. These accolades recognize her talent and dedication, showcasing her ability to bring depth and emotion to her role as Juliet. The recognition she received was not just a testament to her acting skills, but also a significant milestone in her career. However, with this newfound fame came increased pressure to maintain a certain public image. The expectations placed upon her by the industry and the audience intensified, leading to a complex relationship with her own self-perception. While the acclaim solidified her status in Hollywood, it also meant that her personal life was often under scrutiny. The constant attention from the media and fans made it challenging for her to navigate her private life, impacting her sense of identity. This duality of success and pressure shaped her journey as an actress, influencing her choices and experiences in the years that followed. For many years, Olivia Hussey publicly defended the controversial scene in Romeo and Juliet. She described feeling at ease on set with her co-star Leonard Whiting, whom she saw as a friend. Their chemistry contributed to the film's emotional depth, and she often spoke of the scene as being tastefully done, crediting director Franco Zeffirelli for his artistic vision. Zeffirelli was known for creating beautiful and evocative films, and Hussey felt that he handled the delicate nature of the scene with care. However, as time passed, she began to reflect more deeply on her experiences. She now contends that her earlier statements were influenced by the pressure to support the film's success and the director who had helped launch her career. This change of heart reflects a more honest assessment of her feelings about the experience, revealing the complexities of navigating fame and personal boundaries in the film industry. Despite her initial discomfort with Hollywood, Olivia Hussey showcased remarkable professional resilience, continuing to make an indelible mark on the entertainment industry. Following her celebrated role in Romeo and Juliet, she stepped into the world of horror with the cult classic film Black Christmas. This 1974 movie remains one of the most influential slasher films, and Hussey's performance as Jess Bradford added depth to the fledgling genre. Her adaptability was further emphasized when she took on the profound role of Mary, the mother of Jesus, in Franco Zeffirelli's television miniseries Jesus of Nazareth. This portrayal earned her widespread acclaim and highlighted her capacity to navigate the emotional complexities of vastly different characters. In addition to her on-screen achievements, Hussey explored voice acting, lending her voice to Talia al Ghul in animated projects like Superman the Animated Series and Batman Beyond. Her transitions into voice work demonstrated how her talents extended beyond traditional acting, earning her a nomination at the prestigious Annie Awards. Her involvement in iconic franchises like Star Wars, where she voiced characters in video games such as Rogue Squadron and The Old Republic, further cemented her legacy in both the cinematic and animated realms. Hussey's journey through various genres and mediums not only highlighted her versatility but also her courage to embrace challenging roles, whether it was through intense drama, thrilling horror, or animated depictions. Her enduring influence stems from a career built on fearless artistic exploration and a commitment to the craft, even as she faced personal struggles. Olivia Hussey and Leonard Whiting, the beloved stars of the 1968 adaptation of Romeo and Juliet, ignited widespread attention with their recent lawsuit against Paramount Pictures. The actors, who were minors aged 15 and 16 during the film's production, claimed the nude scene in the movie was filmed without their fully informed consent. They have argued that the sequence, overseen by director Franco Zeffirelli, caused them lasting emotional and psychological trauma. Although the scene was brief and framed as an artistic endeavor at the time, the actors assert they were coerced into participation under misleading assurances. Originally believing that the scene's execution would avoid nudity, Hussey and Whiting learned only on the day of filming that they would be required to appear partially nude. Allegedly, the director convinced them that the project would fail without their compliance, placing significant pressure on these young performers. They now argue that they filmed the scene under duress, and that Paramount breached its duty of care by distributing images of underage nudity for decades. This legal claim takes advantage of California's temporary suspension of statutes of limitation on childhood sexual abuse cases, which opened a pathway for individuals to seek justice long after an alleged incident occurred. In their lawsuit, Hussey and Whiting cited feelings of humiliation and betrayal by the studio, claiming that they endured decades of mental distress as a result of this episode. The actors have demanded $500 million in damages, citing both the psychological toll and the financial exploitation of their images without proper consent. Their legal team emphasizes that none of the contracts signed by the then teenagers permitted such explicit material to be produced or shown to global audiences. Adding complexity to this situation, Zeffirelli, who passed away in 2019, is said to have reassured the actors during production that the nudity would not be explicitly visible in the final product. Hussey and Whiting received Academy Award nominations and critical acclaim, but now stress that the cost of this fame came at the expense of their mental health. Despite Paramount's pushback and the lawsuit encountering public criticism, it raises an important discussion about accountability for minors in the entertainment industry. During the filming of Franco Zeffirelli's 1968 adaptation of Romeo and Juliet, Olivia Hussey and Leonard Whiting, portraying the iconic roles of Juliet and Romeo, were involved in a scandal that marred the legacy of the otherwise celebrated production. Both actors were teenagers, Hussey being only 15 and Whiting 16. Initially, they were reassured by Zeffirelli that for the pivotal love scene, they would be outfitted in flesh-colored garments, maintaining their privacy and comfort. However, on the day of the shoot, that promise was starkly overturned. They were informed that body makeup would instead be used, prompting feelings of betrayal and discomfort for the young actors. They found themselves in a vulnerable position without the protection they believed had been guaranteed. This sudden shift, according to Hussey and Whiting, left them with no real choice in the matter. They were told by the director that, without complying, the film, and potentially their budding careers in Hollywood, would be jeopardized. Under significant pressure and amid a power imbalance, they complied. The scene, which highlighted their nudity, was later included in the final cut of the film, sparking both awe for its artistry and outrage over its ethical implications. The controversy surrounding this incident spans decades. Hussey and Whiting later described this experience in public statements and legal actions as a breach of trust, reflecting the exploitation they endured during their teenage years. Despite the visible success of the film, which garnered critical acclaim and awards, the emotional toll on the actors was profound. They carried this unresolved issue throughout their adult lives, illustrating the prolonged impact of such betrayals in the entertainment industry. The filming of the controversial scene was marked by discomfort for Olivia and Leonard, who felt unprepared for the level of exposure they experienced. Both actors struggled with the experience, which they say left them with lasting psychological scars. The discomfort they felt during filming reflects the larger issue of consent and the importance of respecting actors' boundaries. Olivia Hussey, known for her role in Romeo and Juliet, found herself in a situation that challenged her comfort and sense of safety. The scene required a level of vulnerability that neither she nor her co-star anticipated. They expressed feeling pressured to perform in a way that went beyond their limits, leading to feelings of anxiety and distress. This experience highlights the need for clear communication and consent in the film industry, ensuring that actors are fully aware of what is expected of them and that their boundaries are respected. The lasting impact of such experiences can affect an actor's career and mental health, emphasizing the importance of creating a supportive environment on set. During the production of Romeo and Juliet, Olivia Hussey and her co-star Leonard Whiting faced significant challenges that highlighted a troubling trend in the film industry. They argue that their experiences were not isolated incidents, but part of a broader pattern of exploitation that often targets young actors. The pressure to perform in scenes that made them uncomfortable was immense, and they felt that their well-being was frequently overlooked. This situation raises serious concerns about the treatment of young performers in Hollywood, where the desire for artistic expression can sometimes overshadow the need for safety and respect. The lawsuit they filed serves as a crucial reminder of the importance of implementing stronger protections for young actors. It emphasizes the necessity for industry standards that prioritize the mental and emotional health of performers, ensuring that no one is forced into uncomfortable situations for the sake of a production. Their fight is not just for themselves, but for all young talents who deserve a safe and supportive environment in which to work. In their declarations for the lawsuit, Olivia and Leonard provided detailed accounts of the emotional toll the scene took on them. Olivia described feeling vulnerable and anxious, sharing how the experience affected her deeply. She spoke about the pressure of performing in such a challenging scene, and how it lingered in her mind long after filming. The vulnerability she felt was not just during the shoot, but also in the aftermath, as she navigated the reactions from the public and the industry. Leonard expressed similar sentiments, revealing that the scene left him feeling exposed and unsettled. He discussed the weight of the expectations placed on them as actors, and how that impacted their mental health. Their testimonies shed light on the profound impact that the scene had on their lives, both personally and professionally. They highlighted the importance of understanding the emotional consequences of acting, especially in scenes that require a high level of vulnerability. The shared experiences of Olivia and Leonard illustrate the often overlooked emotional challenges faced by actors in the film industry. Paramount has responded to the lawsuit by filing a motion to dismiss, arguing that the film is protected under free speech and the First Amendment. This defense tactic reflects the complex legal issues surrounding artistic expression and the responsibilities of film studios toward young actors. Paramount's stance also underscores the challenges that victims face when seeking justice for past exploitation. The legal arguments presented by Paramount highlight the tension between creative freedom and the need to protect vulnerable individuals in the entertainment industry. As the case unfolds, it raises important questions about the balance between artistic license and ethical obligations. The outcome could have significant implications not only for the parties involved, but also for the broader landscape of film production and the treatment of young talent. The legal framework surrounding these issues is intricate, and the discussions that arise from this case may influence future policies and practices within the industry. The judge's decision to dismiss the legal action brought by Olivia Hussey and Leonard Whiting against Paramount Pictures Corporal on First Amendment grounds has become a significant reminder of the inherent challenges faced by performers seeking justice for past grievances. Both Olivia Hussey and Leonard Whiting had brought forward allegations surrounding their involvement as minors in the 1968 film Romeo and Juliet, particularly focusing on the controversial scenes that reportedly led to emotional toll and ethical concerns over exploitation. However, the court ruled in favor of Paramount, emphasizing that the scenes in question were protected free speech under the First Amendment. This ruling underscored the existing legal frameworks that often restrict recourse for individuals in such cases, essentially positioning creative expression as a protected standard under U.S. law. Throughout their legal journey, Olivia Hussey and Leonard Whiting raised significant concerns about how their participation in the film during their teenage years had lifelong implications. They claimed that these scenes, filmed while they were minors, did not conform with the boundaries of ethical filmmaking or the assurances previously given. Nevertheless, despite acknowledging the emotional stress caused by such scenes, the court pointed to their status within a larger work of art as the basis for dismissal, leaving the plaintiffs unable to proceed with their claims. Legal experts have noted how this decision reflects a long-standing tension in the entertainment industry between the protection of minors and preservation of artistic liberties. Furthermore, the case highlighted critical gaps in standards governing child actors and the safeguards available to them both during production and retrospectively. For older adults like Olivia Hussey and Leonard Whiting, mounting a legal challenge decades after the events proved exceptionally difficult, particularly when institutions like Paramount could invoke fundamental rights to freedom of expression. As a result, their quest for justice was constrained not only by the time lapse, but also by legal interpretations that balanced their claims against the broader protections for artistic works. This instance sheds light on the broader issue of how power dynamics within the entertainment sector often leave little room for accountability. Performers, particularly in earlier eras, frequently signed contracts or agreed to roles under different ethical standards or protections than exist today. Yet, as laws and societal values evolve, revisiting such cases remains a complex arena due to legal precedents. In the case of Hussey and Whiting, their personal anguish and legal setbacks have also raised awareness about the relevance of updating protective measures for minors while respecting the autonomy of creative expressions. Still, the effects of such legal outcomes extend beyond the individuals involved. Observers in the entertainment and legal fields have commented on the precedents this ruling sets for other historical grievances within the industry. On one hand, it protects creators against claims that could rewrite historical works. On the other hand, it signals once again that justice for past exploitation often remains elusive. For Olivia Hussey and Leonard Whiting, this setback does not erase the emotional narratives tied to their involvement in Romeo and Juliet, but it does highlight how victims may find themselves constrained by the very legal structures they hoped would support their case. The case is significant because it brings attention to historical practices in Hollywood that often placed young actors in vulnerable positions. Olivia Hussey, known for her role in the classic film Romeo and Juliet, has come forward to share her experiences, shedding light on the pressures and expectations faced by young performers in the industry. Alongside her co-star Leonard Whiting, she is challenging the norms that allowed such practices to persist for decades. Their bravery in speaking out highlights the need for change and reform within the entertainment world. By addressing these issues, they advocate for a safer industry for future generations, ensuring that young actors are protected from exploitation and harmful situations. This case serves as a reminder of the importance of accountability and the need for a supportive environment where young talent can thrive without fear. The courage shown by Olivia and Leonard is a crucial step toward creating a more respectful and secure atmosphere in Hollywood. Although Olivia Hussey and Leonard Whiting originally gained widespread acclaim for their roles in Franco Zeffirelli's 1968 adaptation of Romeo and Juliet, the film's controversial nude scene has become a focal point of intense scrutiny decades later. Both actors, who were only 15 and 16 at the time, filed a lawsuit against Paramount Pictures in late 2022, claiming they were coerced into participating in the scene under the pretense that bodysuits would be used. They asserted that this was a violation of child protection laws and amounted to exploitation. However, this legal action sparked considerable backlash from certain quarters, rooting the public reaction in the complicated nature of revisiting such accusations years after the fact. Critics have pointed to interviews and public statements in which Hussey had previously defended the scene, suggesting it was handled tastefully and artistically. This prior stance, juxtaposed with her decision to file suit decades later, has led skeptics to question her motives and sincerity. Some have argued that her earlier expressions of approval undermine the legitimacy of her claims. Others raise questions about the timing of the lawsuit, considering the heightened awareness of exploitation in the film industry post-Me Too movement. The ongoing debate about memory, trauma, and whose perspectives are deemed valid has further polarized opinion, not just about this case, but in a broader discussion of ethics in cinema. For Hussey, the criticism extends beyond this singular case. By pursuing justice later in life, she has inadvertently drawn attention to the stigma survivors often face when they decide to break their silence. Her detractors cite inconsistencies to discredit her tale, but supporters point out that shifting societal attitudes may create a more conducive climate now for revealing past abuses. This lawsuit thus becomes emblematic of larger dynamics within the industry, where silence persists not only due to fear, but also due to expected reputational consequences. Zeffirelli's legacy further complicates matters. Upon his death in 2019, the celebrated director left a controversial record, often lauded for his cinematic brilliance while criticized for his alleged misconduct. Some of his defenders have framed the suit as an attack on his artistic intentions, and his family has labeled the accusations deeply troubling and embarrassing. Such remarks have unfortunately contributed to the moral dilemma of representation in Hollywood: artistic integrity versus unforeseen or ignored abuses underlying the final product. All these factors create a situation in which whistleblowers like Hussey must contend not just with institutional barriers, but also cultural narratives that perpetuate impunity. Mick LaSalle's article raises important questions about Olivia Hussey's motives regarding her past experiences with director Franco Zeffirelli. In the piece, LaSalle highlights how Hussey once praised Zeffirelli for his work and defended the controversial scene in the film Romeo and Juliet. This defense seemed to stem from her appreciation of the artistic vision and the context in which the scene was created. However, the article suggests that her recent change in stance may not be rooted in genuine regret, but rather influenced by the current cultural climate that emphasizes accountability and sensitivity to issues of consent. This shift complicates the public's response to her lawsuit, as it raises doubts about whether her feelings are truly reflective of her past experiences, or if they are a reaction to societal pressures. The complexity of her situation illustrates how public figures navigate their histories in light of evolving cultural narratives, making it difficult to discern authentic feelings from those shaped by external influences. In response to the criticism surrounding the 1968 film adaptation of Romeo and Juliet, actors Olivia Hussey and Leonard Whiting have spoken out about their experiences during production. At the time, both were teenagers, Olivia being 15 and Leonard 16, cast in roles that brought them immense recognition. However, the controversial inclusion of a scene involving nudity has resurfaced as a topic of dispute more than 50 years later. They revealed feeling pressured into complying with aspects of the film's production that they were uncomfortable with, including appearing in the contentious scene. Hussey and Whiting's testimonies shed light on the persistent power imbalances in the entertainment industry, particularly concerning younger actors. While they initially defended the scene as artistic and fitting for the context of the story, they now emphasize their inability to freely voice objections at the time. They argue that the cultural atmosphere in Hollywood often left them with limited autonomy over their choices, especially under the directive of high-profile figures like Franco Zeffirelli, the film's acclaimed director. Both actors are now addressing these events that transpired decades ago, underscoring how evolving industry standards have given actors more liberty to express their views or oppose things they find questionable. They also stress that contemporary discourse on safeguarding actors, especially minors, has transformed significantly since their own experiences. The echoes of those dynamics, they contend, continue to resonate through Hollywood's landscape, making it a pivotal discussion for the protection and respect of performers across all genres and eras. During press conferences and interviews, both Olivia Hussey and Leonard Whiting displayed noticeable discomfort when discussing a particular scene from their film. Their body language suggested unease. They often averted their gaze and fidgeted when questions about the filming process arose. This behavior indicated that they were not entirely at ease with the subject matter. The interviews revealed a tension that seemed to stem from their feelings about the scene, which may have been conflicted from the beginning. As they navigated questions, their anxious responses hinted at deeper emotions regarding the filming experience. It was clear that the scene in question was not just a simple part of their roles, but something that weighed heavily on them. Their reluctance to engage fully in discussions about it painted a picture of two young actors grappling with the implications of their work. This discomfort was palpable, suggesting that the experience of filming had left a lasting impact on both Olivia and Leonard. When Olivia Hussey and Leonard Whiting first met on the set of Franco Zeffirelli's Romeo and Juliet, they were both just teenagers embarking on a monumental journey that would bond them for a lifetime. The iconic portrayal of Shakespeare's star-crossed lovers catapulted them to fame, but it was their shared experiences and struggles behind the scenes that created a profound connection between them. Throughout the years, their friendship endured, weathering the highs and lows of professional achievements and personal challenges. Despite the fame and occasional separations in their respective lives, Olivia and Leonard always remained deeply connected, often reflecting on the transformative period when they brought the timeless love story to life. In recent years, circumstances brought their friendship to the forefront as they united to seek justice for the exploitation they faced as teenagers. The pair pursued a lawsuit against Paramount Pictures over a controversial nude scene in the film, which they argue was implied to be filmed under different conditions. This shared pursuit for justice only deepened their bond, serving as a manifestation of their mutual support and unwavering belief in each other. While their legal battle aimed to resolve a decades-old grievance, it also highlighted the strong emotional alliance they maintained since their younger years. Olivia often expressed immense admiration for Leonard's loyalty and kindness. In return, he consistently praised her courage and tenacity, offering touching tributes even during her most challenging times. Together, they stood as a testament to the enduring power of genuine friendships and the resilience shared experiences can cultivate. Their fight for justice further underscored the mutual respect and understanding they had for each other, allowing their friendship to serve as both a sanctuary and a source of strength in the face of adversity. Olivia's personal life was marked by a tumultuous relationship with actor Christopher Jones, who was physically violent toward her. This relationship was not just a fleeting moment in her life. It left deep emotional and physical scars that she still recalls with pain. Olivia has spoken about the trauma she endured during this time, highlighting the fear and anxiety that accompanied her experiences with Jones. The violence she faced was not only a betrayal of trust, but also a significant challenge that shaped her view of love and relationships. This difficult chapter in her life adds to the portrait of Olivia as someone who has endured significant hardships. Despite her success as an actress, the shadows of her past linger, reminding her of the strength it took to overcome such adversity. Her story serves as a testament to resilience in the face of personal struggles, illustrating how even those in the public eye can face profound challenges behind closed doors. The relationship between Olivia Hussey and Christopher Jones took a dark turn when he physically assaulted her, leaving her with severe injuries. This violent incident marked a significant and painful chapter in her life. Olivia has spoken about the fear and pain she experienced during that time, describing it as one of the most terrifying moments she ever faced. The emotional and physical scars from this event lingered long after the incident, affecting her view on personal relationships. She found herself grappling with the aftermath, which included feelings of vulnerability and distrust. This experience not only highlighted the challenges she faced in her personal life, but also served as a reminder of the complexities of love and the potential for harm that can exist within it. Olivia's story sheds light on the broader issues of domestic violence and the impact it can have on individuals, emphasizing the importance of awareness and support for those who endure similar situations. Throughout her eventful life, Olivia Hussey experienced the complexities and rewards of personal relationships under the bright lights of fame. Her first marriage to Dean Paul Martin Jr., the son of the legendary entertainer Dean Martin, began in 1971 when the couple tied the knot. A few years later, in 1973, they welcomed their son Alexander Gunther Martin into the world. Alexander would eventually follow in his parents' footsteps, carving out a career as an actor. Despite their separation and subsequent divorce in 1978, Olivia and Dean Paul Martin maintained a cordial bond. Tragedy struck 9 years after their divorce when Dean Paul Martin, serving as a captain in the California Air National Guard, tragically lost his life in an aviation accident. After her first marriage, Olivia found love again with Akira Fuse, a celebrated Japanese musician, whom she married in 1980. During their time together, they were blessed with a son, Maximilian Fuse, born in 1983. However, their marital journey concluded in divorce in 1989. Demonstrating resilience and an enduring belief in partnership, Olivia entered into her third significant relationship, marrying American musician David Glenn Isley in 1991. This union brought stability and joy as they expanded their family with the birth of India Joy Isley, who pursued her own creative path as an actress. Remarkably, Olivia managed to maintain an amicable rapport with many of her former partners over the years, reflecting her ability to balance the highs and lows of love alongside the demands of fame. Her personal narrative is not merely one of relationships, but also one of enduring connections, showcasing her innate warmth and positivity as she navigated a life on and off the screen. In 2008, Olivia Hussey faced a significant challenge when she was diagnosed with breast cancer. This diagnosis marked the beginning of a difficult journey that tested her strength and resilience. Olivia approached her battle with cancer with remarkable courage, demonstrating a determination that inspired many. As part of her treatment, she underwent a double mastectomy, a procedure that not only altered her physical appearance, but also required immense emotional fortitude. Throughout this experience, Olivia showed a profound ability to confront adversity head-on. Her health struggles highlighted her inner strength and commitment to overcoming the obstacles life presented. Despite the challenges she faced, Olivia's story serves as a testament to the power of perseverance and the human spirit's ability to endure even the toughest of times. Her journey through illness has resonated with many, reminding them of the importance of hope and resilience in the face of life's trials. When Olivia Hussey's breast cancer re-emerged in 2018, after a decade of remission, a new challenge unfolded in her journey. The diagnosis revealed a tumor growing between her heart and lungs. Determined to combat the illness once again, Olivia embraced the life-saving potential of radiation and chemotherapy. This represented a shift from her earlier decision upon her initial diagnosis in 2008, when she had opted not to undergo such treatments, but instead faced a double mastectomy. The recurrence marked a grueling battle that tested her resolve. Her experience was not just about the physical toll the treatments took, but also the deep emotional resilience required to confront life-threatening circumstances. Olivia regarded her acceptance of chemotherapy and radiation as pivotal, allowing her the chance to continue her life. These choices became a testament to her unwavering strength and her unyielding will to fight against the odds. As she navigated through the intensities of the treatments, her perseverance offered inspiration to many who followed her journey. Having first risen to fame with her iconic portrayal of Juliet in the 1968 film Romeo and Juliet, Olivia had long since captivated global audiences. Yet, it was not merely her acting that endeared her to others. Her transparent and forthright approach to sharing her challenges resonated deeply. The openness with which she spoke about her health served as a beacon of hope for those grappling with similar trials, offering a reminder of the human spirit's capacity to endure. The treatments, though arduous, provided her with valuable time and underscored her commitment to life amidst adversity. This prolonged fight was reflective of a legacy marked by determination, courage, and an affirmation of the value of every fleeting moment. Such resilience in the face of overwhelming personal challenges mirrored her ability to take life's stage with authenticity, both as an actress and as a spirited individual. In 2018, Olivia Hussey shared her life story in her memoir, The Girl on the Balcony. This deeply personal account provides a revealing perspective on her rich and complex life journey. From her meteoric rise to fame as the young Juliet in Franco Zeffirelli's 1968 film Romeo and Juliet, the book recounts the pivotal events that shaped her career and personal life. Olivia's transition from her upbringing in Buenos Aires, Argentina, to becoming a celebrated actress in London highlights her journey as an aspirational figure in the entertainment world. Her relationships, friendships, and significant professional milestones are intricately woven into the memoir, shedding light on the joyful and painful moments that punctuated her narrative. The memoir explores not only her professional triumphs, but also her struggles behind the glamour. Olivia recounts her battle with stage 4 breast cancer, the challenges posed by debilitating agoraphobia, and the toll of financial instability, including bankruptcy. These hardships are candidly presented alongside her determination to find moments of peace and self-discovery. Reflecting on her tumultuous personal life, she shares the complexities of her 3 marriages, including her story with Dino Martin, son of legendary crooner Dean Martin. These stories lend an authentic and heartfelt touch, resonating deeply with readers who appreciate unvarnished honesty in storytelling. Olivia's reflections also delve into the friendship she maintained with her Romeo and Juliet co-star, Leonard Whiting, long after the camera stopped rolling. This enduring companionship mirrors the emotional bond they shared on screen, further solidifying her connection with the iconic film. Her narrative bridges the allure of fame and the sobering realities that often accompany it, offering readers a profound understanding of her resilience. The Girl on the Balcony serves as more than an autobiography. It is a testament to her ability to endure life's unpredictability and emerge strong, no matter the challenges. Readers are left with an impression of Olivia as a woman of depth, grace, and candor, unhesitant to reveal the vulnerabilities that shaped her character and strength. By sharing her truth, she not only invites readers into her world, but also establishes herself as an enduring voice of inspiration and authenticity in both cinema and literature. The video concludes by urging viewers to support Olivia's memoir and reflect on the issues her lawsuit has brought to light. This discussion encourages people to consider the history of exploitation in the industry and the progress that still needs to be made. Olivia Hussey, known for her iconic roles, has bravely shared her experiences, shedding light on the darker aspects of Hollywood. Her story resonates with many, highlighting the challenges young actors face in an environment that can often be predatory. The conversation around her lawsuit serves as a reminder of the importance of protecting vulnerable individuals in the entertainment world. It calls for greater awareness and advocacy for young actors, emphasizing the need for systemic changes to ensure their safety and well-being. By supporting Olivia's memoir, viewers can engage with these critical issues and contribute to a broader dialogue about the necessary reforms in the industry. This moment is not just about one actress. It is about the collective responsibility to foster a safer and more respectful environment for all performers. Many young actors today still face similar pressures and challenges as Olivia did. Her journey in the film industry highlights the intense scrutiny and expectations placed on young performers. Olivia Hussey gained fame at a young age for her role in the film adaptation of Romeo and Juliet, which brought her both acclaim and unwanted attention. The pressures of fame can be overwhelming, leading to struggles with mental health and self-image. Her experiences serve as a reminder of the importance of advocacy and support for vulnerable performers. As Hollywood continues to evolve, it is crucial to create an environment where young actors feel safe and respected. The industry must prioritize the well-being of all actors, ensuring they have the necessary support systems in place. Olivia's story emphasizes the need for open conversations about mental health and the importance of protecting young talent from exploitation. By learning from her experiences, the industry can work towards a more compassionate and understanding approach to nurturing young actors. Recently, the legal dispute initiated by Olivia Hussey and Leonard Whiting against Paramount Pictures has brought renewed focus to the ethical handling of minors in the entertainment industry. The actors, who starred in Franco Zeffirelli's acclaimed 1968 adaptation of Romeo and Juliet, claim they were coerced into performing a partially nude scene while still teenagers, under the assurance that there would be no actual nudity in the final edit. Hussey and Whiting, now in their 70s, alleged that the scene was not revealed to them until the day of filming and was presented as essential to the film's authenticity. This revelation has led to accusations of intentional emotional distress and exploitation, compounded by the absence of consent from the young actors during production. The lawsuit, which seeks over $500 million in damages, has been framed within California's look-back window legislation, temporarily lifting the statute of limitations on child sexual abuse claims. This window allowed the actors to bring their grievances to court decades after the film's release. Media coverage has sparked debates about industry-wide standards and the responsibility filmmakers have to safeguard the well-being of minors on set, particularly in intense or sensitive scenes. Critics of Hussey and Whiting's legal actions argue that the two actors have praised their work on Romeo and Juliet in the past, even defending the controversial scene during its release. However, the shifting societal context surrounding consent and exploitation may shed new light on the pressures young actors faced in an era with looser regulations. In addition to monetary reparations, the lawsuit aims to hold accountable those involved in allegedly negligent practices which normalize exploitation in the arts. If successful, this case could inspire similar lawsuits within the industry, challenging outdated norms that have long excused questionable practices in the name of creative freedom. It also intensifies pressing conversations about the power dynamics between adult professionals and child performers in entertainment, a dynamic liable to exploitation when not closely monitored. As the legal battle unfolds, the implications extend beyond financial compensation, potentially reshaping Hollywood's ethical frameworks and inspiring systemic reforms to protect vulnerable actors from